This is classic Steve. He goes, you want me to pick a fight with you tonight so you have something to talk about on the podcast tomorrow? That's what he said. That's what he said.
That's funny.
I go,
that's really funny.
What? He goes, well, if you're looking for some material, I can really rev things up around here. I go, no, we don't need to rev things up around here.
Hey guys, welcome to the official YouTube page for Calm Down with Erin and Charissa. This is where you can watch all of our ridiculous conversations and fun interviews.
We have full shows. We've got pre-games, anything and everything that you guys could want. But first, you're going to have to subscribe. Just hit subscribe right there and you're good to go.
And now you can calm down with us.
Yep. Can you tell that we're reading this off a script? We hope so. All right. We need to calm down and wrap this bad boy up. Press subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. Ba-ba-da!
Hi, girl.
Hi,
girl.
We were just talking offline about how much we miss each other. People think we speak mostly on voice notes and not in real life. Even last night, we both were sitting down watching the game and still voice noting.
I don't know. Sometimes it's like more fun, though. In a way, it's like, because then you just get the snippets. I don't know. I guess we could be well, we do have a conversation every week together on a podcast for an hour. But yeah, I feel like I miss you. Hey, you would look at this. You know what I was missing?
Pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
You little pumpkin.
I was so excited. I know it's a waste of money. It's like, okay, you've got a coffee maker here. But it's like sometimes there's just something.
It's a treat. She's a real treat. I'll tell you what's a treat. Also in our voice notes, our husbands are like, oh, God. Well, Steve's not, but Jared's like, oh, what are we doing? And then always has to offer insight or tidbits in the background. And then so is Steve in the background of the, hey, you want to get on?
That's exactly. And I was like, you didn't want to say anything, but now you want to say everything when I'm in the middle of leaving this voice note. So either get involved or get out. Hi, everyone. Here we go. Pregame. Doug Zarian. Plain decorum. Say hello to a famous person or ignore because they probably want to be left alone. I don't know. I always like to do the whole like, I see you, but I don't want to bother you. But like, I know you're there. Like, give a little wink. Yeah, kind of a thing. I don't know. I think it depends on who it is. But
I think it depends
more times than not, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I think it depends on my mood, my skin condition.
Oh, interesting.
If I got a real rager going on the lower half of the face, I'm probably not making any sort of salutations or
not salutations.
Gestures. But I really could go into the whole Erin thing. If it's somebody, it's like, huge fan, you're amazing, I'm obsessed, have a great flight, whatever. It just depends on the vibe and the skin condition.
Who's the most famous person I've sat or been on a plane with? I'm trying to think.
We've done this, right? Bella Hadid?
Bella Hadid sat next to her, but I'm trying to think like if there's anyone else. Oh, Sherry Shepherd was a real ball of fun. She was adorable.
Sure.
Sitting next to her. I don't know. All right. What else? Go for it, girl.
Oh, my bad. I was writing down thoughts for the big show.
Oh.
Jess Porter, 13. I need your opinion. Is painting your nails appropriate on airplanes in doctors' waiting rooms? Get out of here. I don't even think filing or clipping. I'm going to barf. No Waynes. No.
No. Did you say no Waynes?
No Waynes.
Forget the bueno. Just no Waynes. I like that.
No Waynes.
First of all, the smell of nail polish alone
I love it.
Ew, no. What?
It smells so good.
No, it doesn't. That's like you're going to get high. I like the smell of like Sharpie markers. And then that's like another thing. It's like, well, like when you're like 13, like gasoline pens.
I was going to say, what about gasoline? I'm into it.
I don't like when the gasoline gets on the hand and you're not getting that thing off.
Yeah.
You got to like carefully like take it out of the thing so we're dripping or you're not allowed to do anything with your nails on. No, Gasolina. She's on a roll. No. And also doctors' waiting rooms. What are we doing? Jess, you know better.
You're going to smudge. I don't think it's for her. I think it's for other people.
It better not be for her. I don't know Jess Porter, but I feel like she's better than this. Absolutely not. No, keep the nails to the salon or at home. We are looking at a faux Nick's tan. I hope that's the name. Boyfriend wants me to move in without getting married first. Been together 2 years. Thoughts? Yes.
But 2 years they've already been together.
you might not want to marry him after you move in with him. There's a lot of things. I got into it with Steve this morning. I got a whole, also, this is classic Steve. He goes, you want me to pick a fight with you tonight so you have something to talk about on the podcast tomorrow? That's what he said. That's what he said.
That's funny.
I go,
that's really funny.
What? He goes, well, if you're looking for some material, I can really rev things up around here. I go, no, we don't need to rev things up around here. I'll tell you what. I know, I swear to God. Well, I'd like to rev up my engine, but my car's destroyed. We'll talk about that on the big show. In the meantime, though, the guy, I've got a real issue. You got to make the bed every single morning. And I know when I'm gone for Thursday Night Football, you don't want to make the bed when I'm not here.
That's
no
okay.
problem. Go for it. But when I'm here, we need to make the bed. So this morning, I said, hey, you're going to make that bed? He goes, not if you talk to me like that. We're not going to make the bed. And I was like, look, we can't be living in Dumpville. We got to make the bed every morning. We got to be up and at 'em. And, come on, we got chores around here. So
Dumpville.
My point is, Phonix Tan, is if your boyfriend has weird idiosyncrasies or different things that he does that you don't know about because you haven't lived together, you got to work through that. As my father always says, I didn't adhere to this advice clearly. Have the divorce before the wedding. So it's like you work through all the negative things. Now, of course, invariably, everything will, things come up when you're married anyways. But I really believe in living together before you get married.
I agree.
And make your bed every day.
But you've been together for 2 years.
Oh yeah, this one's putting a timer on thing. I'll tell you what doesn't work. Men don't like timers. Like, hey, what are we doing here? What are we? Oh, when are we getting married? Are we doing this? Not me. I'm the other way. I don't care.
You really are.
Then every day he's got to be like, God, I got to keep working to keep her. You know what I mean? Once you're married, then he's like,
fluffing this duvet. This is crazy.
Yeah, you better fluff those pillows. Okay. Let's get going here.
Steve so much. He's not going anywhere. And if he does, I'm going with him. You heard me.
You and everyone else. Everyone else is off my train if I get rid of that guy. I'm not getting rid of him.
But make train. That bed. Bob Popovich, what is something fans never see but you do that is important to your job each week?
What a great question.
That is a good question. Bob?
That is a great question. If I had a baby, I would want to name it Bob.
I love that.
Is that not the cutest?
Baby Bob.
This is my baby Bob.
Bobby.
Bobberino. There's so many things. I would love that. I might just have a kid just to name it Bob.
Good.
Bob Popovich.
Come be in this with me.
I jump on in the playpen. It's fun. Water's warm. What a great question. Okay, let me think about this because I want to be mindful with my response. I mean, homework is always number one, right? Like I don't think people realize like how much work you do
about it,
and then you don't end up using hardly any of it. But it's just important to have. Also, let's think about this.
Calls.
Explain a little bit about that for you, because you have that. I don't have those.
I know. Well, we get on the phone with usually the coach, the coordinator, and the quarterback or star defensive player or something like that. So I just find them, look, we can be on the field for pregame. We can quickly talk to them, but we're not breaking it down. Like, hey, when you go up against this, what are you thinking? Like, no, it's usually like, salutations. I usually make some asshole joke and get the guy going, and like then it's like all fun and games. That or he walks away and he's like, this broad is nuts. It says to PR, hey, her, never again. Don't let me talk to her. Yeah, so I don't know. I the prep is just, but that's something you guys already know. I'm trying to think of what else besides the prep. I have found it really, really necessary for me. And you do this too. You watch clips of the games. I find it really necessary to watch most of the game that the team I'm covering played the week before. I just feel better. Like I don't want to jump into it cold and I can read about the game, but I actually kind of want to see the vibe of what the announcers are saying. So that's a new bit of anxiety I've put on my plate this year. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Already overflowing.
Sure.
I would say production meetings are big. We have for Amazon, at least, we have a production meeting with all of us on Monday in the morning to kind of recap the weekend's games and then talk specifically about the game we have. So like this week, we've got the Broncos and the Saints. Both of those teams lost this past week. So sort of like the issues from those two games. So yeah, call them at 9:30 sort of gives the producers an idea of where we want to go storyline wise so they can pull footage and clips and stuff like that. And then for us, we also have a production meaning the day of the game, so Thursday morning. And then that's also fun too, because you just like get a better idea game time of what's happening. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know. I'll think about it. But Bob, great question.
I just thought of one. So tomorrow I'm going to get on the phone with Mahomes. I'm also going to speak to Kareem Hunt this week. And Chris Jones, great. Superstars.
Right.
We have a set of guys. One is a guy that gives Kevin and I and TB a lot of stats during the game. Jarrett, you know Jarrett. You work with
Jarrett
him.
Klein.
And then also we have the guys that make our graphics up. What you see on television with the visuals, the numbers, like all the stats. I send a mass text. I'm going to send a mass text out to them later and say, hey guys, I'm getting Mahomes, Jones, and Hunt this week on the phone. If you have anything that you know are going to be elements in the game, let me know. So when you put them up there, I can add. I talked to Mahomes this week. He said this about this, this, and this. So that's something that I do. Kind of get and it also like it pays off what I do, but it pays off what those guys do in the truck too. They work so hard all week preparing different graphics, hoping that the announcers touch on them. So if I can do that, it just really helps the team.
No, that is a really good point. And I love that because there's synergy. I was even saying this is aside, but when there's a flow to, even when I do like a highlight into a game, and I get it because it disrupts the flow sometimes of your guys' games depending on what's going on.
Oh my God, Kenny Albert going down and then you having to do a highlight. I was so curious what your vibe and mood was going to be in and out of that because that is so touchy.
Well, it is touchy because, of course, the severity of that injury, and you don't know. That being said, it wasn't like right up against it. So it's, and to be honest, it was like we didn't really even have a highlight, but like we want to get away from the game.
Yes.
Exactly. So at that point, you're
interesting.
But just paying off a highlight. Kevin will do this a lot. So will Kenny Albert. He's so good at it where it's like, if I taken like a Vikings highlight into the game, he's like, the Saints will see the Vikings next week. And, the NFC North, isn't it amazing? Like it's such a good point for you to highlight. Like just, you don't even realize like all of the different elements of games or things that are going on and to be able to bring them together. Bob, did that answer your question?
And that's all the time we have for today.
BU Threads, as a mom going back to family nurse practitioner school, stressed to miss out on my 1 and 2-year-old growing up. How do you handle it, Erin? Need all the advice. Oh, well, first of all, good for you for going back.
Yeah, girl, go.
And nurse practitioner school. Wow, that's probably a huge undertaking with the littles at home. How do you handle it all, girlfriend?
I don't. I call Charissa and I cry, and I feel like I've been the most negative friend this month. It's been really hard because I am missing a lot. But at the same time, I love what I do. I know when Mackie Babes understands what I do, he will love it as well. I am in constant contact. I'm FaceTiming. I'm making the nanny. I'm making Jarrett send me photos. It's the little things. Like last night, I landed at 6. Raced home, got there in time for, bedtime and story reading and wanted to go wake him up this morning. So it's hard though, because I got a lot of shit I got to do this week. And I also want to spend time with Mac. And it's like, I am having such a hard time balancing this. I called Charissa this past week, and I just said, I can't get things done that I need, and I don't know how to do it. And I feel like I am at this point where I'm just like drowning. But then at the same time, Chris is really good at this. I need to give myself a break. I miss my best friend a lot. I miss her husband, boyfriend. I want to spend time with them. Like I woke up today and I was like, I miss my friends. Like I need that time right now too. So it's a fucking lot, man. It's so hard.
I don't have any idea what you guys are going through because obviously I don't have children, but that guilt where you're like, oh, I want to be with them. But I always think about our own situations as kids. Like, do we remember? We don't remember when we're little about like when our parents were there and not, love, like I always reference this, but like I know my parents' work ethic and like those are the things that like Mac will appreciate, not like, oh, you weren't there every. And also too, like for you with the question about the nurse practitioner, like your kids are going to be so proud of the fact that like you're going back to school. I think it's a great example for them to see that you can. And this idea of like, oh, do it all. You don't have to be perfect in doing it all. You're going to fail in some of the areas, but the attempt to try to in the pie chart of your life, like some of that also has to be for you. Like you're going back to work because you obviously are passionate about being a nurse and like, or want to provide for your family. Like, I think you need to give yourself some grace. You too. I'm saying this to you, Erin, like you don't want to have to give up your career just because you have a child and like you can try to balance it all. So for anyone out there that's doing it, I give you guys a ton of credit because it doesn't look easy, but keep going. Next.
I'm watching Kyle Brandt right now on Angry Runs. I don't know how he doesn't blow a blood vessel. He's so good. Mac was watching him today eating pancakes going, I'm like, that's Uncle Kyle. He's crazy. But I love Angry Runs so much. Okay. Jonathan Lara, I'm actually glad you wrote this in because I want to call somebody out who's also on this podcast. It's November 1st. Oh, is November 1st. Too soon to put up Christmas decorations. Guess who gave people shit for already having Christmas decorations up and wants to put her tree up? Jolly Saint Nick over there.
I'm going to tell you why. Because fucking the Grinch for the past decade of my life, because I was just angry with my whole existence, has now become the happiest person on the earth.
Girl.
So I want to put up my decorations. You know what else I want to do? I want to not stress out about my Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
So I want to get all of that done because I want to be sitting here Thanksgiving and filing my nails, not on an airplane, and thinking to myself, the whole list is done. I don't have any anxiety and it's already finished. Like you know how in life sometimes we put ourselves in these situations where it's like, why am I cramming for the exam? Why am I waiting to the last second? So this year, that tree, you guys, I promise you, is going to be up before November 1st in this house. In fact, it might happen this afternoon. Who knows?
Ooh,
so yeah, Jonathan, Laura,
homey.
Light that pumpkin candle and get in the mix. Why wouldn't you enjoy it?
It's so great.
I'm not a leave the decorations up after Christmas. We got to take that shit down. We can't be like rolling into January and February with the tree still up. Like, no, come on.
There's
let's clean it
something
up.
eating our pumpkins outside. Like, I don't know if it's a crow, if it's a possum. Maybe we have a grizzly out front. But
really?
Something
Bigfoot
is eating our pumpkin. Yeah.
Really?
And then Jared goes, and then I think they flipped the pool chair over. Well, the pool chair is massive and I can't even flip it over. And I was like, what do you think we have? A grizzly in the backyard? No, the gardeners were here yesterday. Relax. No, some flipped the pool chair over.
I love
7 crows came and pulled it flipped it upside down.
I love it. Just, yes, go ahead and put those Christmas decorations up and you enjoy yourself. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
MB McDaniel 27. What's your pregame warm-up playlist? What gets you ready for a broadcast? Let's fucking go. It's right. LFG. I love Steve put together a calm down playlist for our live show that we did.
I wanted to send that to me.
I listen to that a lot actually, and I'm depends on the location of where our game is.
Yeah.
Like when we were in Atlanta, there was a lot of Usher, there was a lot of Ludacris. You know who's the DJ? Sherm is always the DJ on the way to the stadium. So little behind the scenes, we all drive together in a big shuttle. We all sit in the same seats that we do every single week. Whit is in the front seat because he's large and in charge and in the front and the captain, and he just needs to like protect us all. So he's in the front seat. Tony and Fitz sit in the first row. Taylor and I sit in the second row. Sherm is in the third. And yeah, it's just Dominique is in the back. And we have a great party. Sherm has like a little speaker he carries around on his backpack and just pumps music. Great DJ. A lot of Jodeci. He brings it back to a lot of 90s R&B.
Yes.
But music is everything.
Jodeci this weekend. Great.
I love music. Music gets me in the mood, you know?
I've been in a real The Weeknd Ariana Grande radio. So light and fresh. Sabrina Carpenter always comes on. But yeah, that's kind of I like The Weeknd's new song. I don't even know if it's new. I'm so not hip anymore. Not that I ever was, but I don't know anything.
I don't care about it. Remember those Now Hits 1, 2? I think I'm just on 4, the CD version. All right, you guys, we got a lot to discuss. I think. Big show. Join us Thursday. Bye.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.